Hello! It's Rebecca, and welcome back to the second month in my bullet journal theme playlist. As you know, I am choosing a different song each month as inspiration for my bullet journal theme, so for this month I chose the song Someone Someone by Monsta X. I honestly debated for a while as to what song I wanted to choose because I originally wanted to do a 17 songs since they are one of my favorite groups. In the end, I chose a Monsta X song because I was supposed to go to their concert in February. Although they ended up postponing the concert, I still felt like one of their songs would be fun to choose. Find You is by far my favorite song by Monsta X, but I really like their All About Love album, which has songs like Middle of the Night and Someone Someone, so here we are. In the music video, there is a scene where all of the members are sitting in a diner lit up with neon lights, so for this theme I wanted to incorporate neon lights and doodles of things that you might find in a diner. For the title page, I started by writing February in a script font using a dark pink marker. This will eventually look like it is a neon light. Since I'll be adding more details to the title, I ended up going over the letters with the same marker to make it bolder. Then in the meantime, while I let the title dry, I took a small fine liner and drew a doodle of this mix of an ice cream sundae and milkshake, as well as one of those plastic red baskets that food is sometimes served in at a diner. For the outline, I wanted to try out this dash type of outlining so that you don't fully outline everything. I think it gives the doodles a bit more of a softer feel. Once the title was done drying, I took a lighter pink marker to trace around the letters in February. It worked out well because I chose the fluorescent pink mild liner to be the glow of the neon lights. I will be going back to the title later, but instead I focused on coloring the sundae and basket. I'm trying to stick to this color scheme of pink, blue, and red, so I made it a strawberry sundae. I used more muted colors for the doodles to contrast the neon from the lights. This month I also focused more on shading for the doodles for the first time, which I actually really like how it came out, so I will definitely be doing shading on doodles a lot more in the future. I added the rest of the red lines on the basket and used a light gray to add some shadows to the doodles. In my opinion, I have to say that the vibe of the song fits really well when I think about a diner, but listen to the song and let me know what you think. Since the music video has a lot of signs made up of blue and pink neon lights in the diner scene, I wanted to add blue neon to this page. I started adding a blue and pink circle around the name of the month, but I ended up also doing a blue neon border around the page. Similar to how I wrote February, I also took a light blue to make the blue glow and finished up outlining the pink circle with a lighter pink. You could totally stop here for the neon lights, but to really bring out the glow, I took a white pen and traced inside the dark colored lines. It looks a bit messy up close, but from far away, and especially on camera, it really does give that neon light vibe. Then I forgot to film it, but while I had my pen out, I added some highlights to the ice cream sundae. Opposite the cover, I usually do a quote page, and since these themes are all based on songs, it has become more of a song lyric page for me. The song Someone Someone is actually a song fully in English, so I just copied down lyrics from the chorus that read, "We all wanna be someone's, wanna be someone's someone, with somebody we can't live without." Monsta X is a group that I recently started listening to more, but something that really impressed me was seeing all of the members harmonizing during the chorus. Even though I am a Kihyun bias, I truly think that all of the members have outstanding vocal talent. But I do have to fangirl a little bit and say that I love all of the ad-libs and harmonies that Kihyun adds to the live performances. I still can't believe that I will get the chance to hear these vocals live. The song lyric page doesn't feel like there's anything too special since there are no doodles, but I did use the neon light font from the previous page to make the focus of the lyrics Someone Someone, which is the title of the song. In general, this page was balanced pretty well, but I added a neon border as well as neon around some of the other lyrics. I really like how it turned out though, and I love how simple it is. Moving on to the monthly, I started in the top left corner by writing out February, but I chose to only make one neon ring around the month header using the blue marker. I wanted to incorporate more diner food doodles into this theme, so I drew another sundae alongside fries in the bottom left corner. Then I drew a mug for coffee in the top right and a red plastic food basket doodle at the bottom of the spread. For the calendar, I used the blue neon font to write the first letter of each day of the week at the top of the calendar, since I will be highlighting the top of each of the boxes on the calendar with pink. I also used a ruler to outline all of the boxes on the calendar. While that was all drying, I wrote the first lines of the song at the bottom. The lyrics read, "Maybe this is crazy, crazy just to wonder if there's someone meant for you." Now, besides the fact that I will be going to see a Monsta X concert, I also decided to choose this song because I related a lot to these lyrics, and I feel like a lot of other people would as well. Even though the song is short and sweet, it contains lyrics that talk about the desire to be someone special to someone else. This extends in a romantic way to also platonically as a friend, or in the case of Monsta X, also to their fans. It's also relatable with lyrics that talk about how we tried to be perfect in order to attain that love. But I think that also comes with the realization that we don't have to be perfect for the people that are meant to stay in our lives. While I was using the ruler to add a section break, I also added the lines for my habit tracker to the right of the calendar. I thought it was a good use of space last month, so I decided to keep my habit tracker with this spread. Then I colored all of the diner food doodles. I wanted to keep to the color scheme, but I did add in yellow for the fries because I will be using the yellow on the following spread for my weekly. Also, the yellow is muted enough that it fit in really well with this color scheme. The last thing for the monthly spread was to make the headers into neon by adding the glow with the lighter color marker and adding the white inner line to the neon letters and lines. I also took my pen to write the dates in the calendar and the habits in the habit tracker. Last month, I tracked habits that would help my mental and physical health, and I'm going to be honest, I did not do most of the habits last month, but that is okay. Instead, this month, I will be focusing on my hobbies and some of my art goals. I will be tracking journaling, drawing, streaming, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I finished this page using the white pen to add details to the food doodles. Unlike last month, I decided to go for a 4-week weekly spread since, like I mentioned with the habits, I want to focus more on my art goals outside of my bullet journal, as well as my hobbies like streaming and YouTube videos. I made a quick Dutch door by cutting off part of the page and then started on the same script neon header I used on the previous pages with a circle border around it. Next, I just wanted to use the pink marker to add in the lines and highlight headers on my page for both the mini calendar, the notes section, and the section for the days of the week. I used a piece of scrap paper to prevent myself from drawing outside of the Dutch door, and it helped to speed up the process. While I was working on the sections of the days of the week, I thought it'd be good to just add the dates in the mini calendar and the headers for the days of the week. I put the days of the week on the left-hand side and the dates to the right on the same line. While I had my pen out, I continued to write out the lyrics from the verse on the previous page. These read, "Sunshine when it's raining, raining over lovers, lovers in the shade of color blue." I'm going to be honest, it's really hard to read these lyrics without wanting to sing them. I will get to my interpretation of those lyrics in a minute, but I want to add a doodle of the outside of a diner in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, just really wanting to incorporate the colors from this theme into the doodle. It kind of reminds me of Steak and Shake though. I ended up coloring in the windows a dark gray and going over with a white pen to outline them and add the glare of the glass to the doodle. Moving to the bottom right hand side of the spread, I tried to draw out the imagery I got from the lyrics I wrote above the doodle. I drew a sun peeking through some rain clouds with raindrops falling over a silhouette of two people under an umbrella. Again, when I added color to this doodle, I wanted to incorporate the colors of the spread, so I ended up coloring the silhouettes light blue and adding some shading with a dark blue. I also thought that the pink clouds would be a cute touch to this doodle alongside the sun being yellow and the gray umbrella. The only thing I would have changed about the coloring would be fixing the shading on the umbrella. It felt slightly off to me because of where the placement of the sun was, but nonetheless adding white highlights with the pen helped. This doodle and shading style were honestly very different for me, but I liked the challenge and how they turned out. Then before I called this theme complete, I just needed to go back to the month header and add the white pen and the glow with the lighter pink and blue markers. When I first started on this theme, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but taking a look back at these pages, I actually think that it fit the song Someone Someone by Monsta X really well, so I like it. I like that it has bright neon lettering, but still has a bit of a soft color palette for the rest of the doodles. Even though it might take a little longer than originally planned, I'm really excited to finally get to see Monsta X live in concert in a couple of months. I hope you all have been safe and healthy, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!